campers, welcome back to another episode of Let's Go Camping. I'm your host, Veronica. We have a fun-filled episode for you guys today. Let's meet up with Andrew and see what delicious dessert he's fixing up in Cookin in the Woods.
Welcome again, guys, to another episode of Let's Go Camping and Cookin in the Woods with Andrew Klein and Trax Barbecue. This week, it's desserts. What's everybody's favorite camp dessert? The s'more. So we're going to do three different types today. We're going to do a chocolate s'more, which is the run-of-the-mill, the classic, the godfather. Then we're going to do a white chocolate s'more. And then one of my personal favorites. It's a little offshoot, a little bit different because, hey, we all have different tastes, and I like to do things a little bit different. We've got a chocolate-covered chocolate donut in that s'more. These were invented by mistake once. The squirrel came and ate our chocolate, and we wanted s'mores so bad, the only thing we had left were chocolate donuts for the next morning's breakfast. So those went in the s'mores, and they were absolutely phenomenal. Again, there is no right or wrong way to toast or roast a marshmallow. Some kids like them raw in the middle and burnt to a crisp on the outside. Others like them golden brown and half done. I like mine gold on the outside and completely liquid centers. These take a little bit of time to do, but let's get roasted. The key is not to put it directly into the flame. We're going to put this guy off to the side right here. Just because it's not in the fire doesn't mean it's not cooking. We'll put this guy about right here. And we're going to check it about every 30-40 seconds. Flip it over. You'll notice as they start to cook and as they're starting to get that nice liquid center, they start puffing up. They start getting nice and big and fat. They won't look like they're doing much until all of a sudden, next thing you know, they're starting to get big. Turn this guy here. They don't take very long to start cooking. And they're already starting to puff up. This is a nice color that you're wanting to see here. Nice golden brown. You don't want, well, maybe you do, but like I said, I like mine a little bit different. So we're going to go ahead and pull these guys up. We're going to pull them over here to the side. Nothing like double-fisted marshmallows. See, that's what some people like, me not necessarily. But you can see they're starting to puff up and get nice and big and fat. Now you don't want to go grabbing these right off because they will burn your fingers. So I always like to do the sandwich technique. Put it right on and use the graham cracker to kind of slide it off. I'm going to go for the Godfather first. Make sure it nice smushes out. Nothing says camping like s'mores. We'll see y'all next time on Let's Go Camping.
Wow, that looks amazing. I'll have to try those out on my next camping trip. Next, we're off to Chain of Lakes with Kemp and Kemp Outside.
Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. We took a fantastic summer tour of Indiana in an RV from Mount Comfort RV. Our second stop was Chain of Lakes State Park up in Albion, Indiana. You guys are going to want to check out this park. Chain of Lakes State Park is a paddler's dream. It's located in Albion, Indiana, and it was established in 1960. Chain Lake State Park is a large state park with lots to see and do. Let's take a look at some of the features. The first one that you're going to want to check out is the beach at Sand Lake. There's a great swimming area and a nice beach to play at. There's also a concession area where you can get food and drinks. Just an amazing place to spend time with family. Also located in this area are a couple of playgrounds, plenty of picnic tables, lots of parking, some pavilions, lots of places to spend time with family. There's also a little nature center, and when we were there, there was a box turtle in an outdoor enclosure that we were able to see. So lots of things to see and do here at the Sand Lake Beach for your family to enjoy. This chain of lakes is a paddler's dream, so whether you have a kayak or a stand-up paddleboard or a canoe, or you need to rent one from the park, you're definitely going to want to get out on the water. Check it out. The lakes are definitely the main feature of this park, and it totally makes sense. There are 13 kettle lakes to explore in this park. There are also 23 miles of forested trails that weave in and around these lakes, which offer great views. There's some bank fishing access as well as a fishing pier here. This is just down the way from the beach at Sand Lake. And so here's a great little fishing pier that you can get out on and fish. But the best way to access these lakes is certainly from the water. Whether you need to rent a canoe or you bring your own kayak or stand-up paddleboard or small boat, you can definitely explore these lakes and actually even take the 9-Lake Challenge, which is a 5-mile paddling trail. There is bank access, boat ramps, and parking areas on a number of the lakes in the park, so you can pick and choose where you want to go and explore, whether you want to do the whole 9-Lake Challenge or just explore a lake or two. There are plenty of opportunities to put in and check out the different lakes, and also to fish anywhere you want. These lakes are electric trolling motor only lakes, so if you have a small boat with a trolling motor, you can check out the lakes that way as well. Keep in mind that the channels can be quite shallow, so you'll definitely need a small boat. The campground at Chain Lake State Park is enormous with tons of sites. And they have an amazing playfield and playground right in the center of the campground for the kids. Let's take a look at the campground. So we'll take a little driving tour of the campground at Chain Lake State Park. As we go past the check-in area, we're going to hang a right, and to the right is the camp store. The camp store at Chain Lakes has all kinds of camping items as well as groceries and firewood for sale. As we make our way through the campground, you can see that this campground is pretty wide open, and it has a ton of sites. 331 sites with electric hookup and 49 sites that do not have electric. None of these sites have sewer hookup or water hookup, but there are dump stations and water fill stations to take care of those needs. These sites often have trees over them that provide nice shade, and there's plenty of grass for pitching a tent or a screen house if you're a tent camper. In the middle of this campground is an enormous play field with volleyball courts and playgrounds and fields to play, whether you're tossing a football or a frisbee or lawn games. Just an incredible center of the campground for families and kids to hang out and play. So guys, as you can see, if you're a paddler or a fisherman, you're definitely going to want to add Chain of Lakes to the state parks you visit this summer. And guys, if you don't have an RV, you can always rent one from Mount Comfort RV and go take a trip and check out Chain of Lakes for yourself. Guys, I hope you enjoy this park. For Let's Go Camping, I'm Kevin Kemp with Kemp Outside.
Thanks, Kevin. Looks super fun. Let's head out to Mount Comfort RV for another RV review. All right, we're here at Mount Comfort RV, and we're here with Scott Moore today, and we're going to take a look at the A-liners.
The A-liner is, it's a sort of a pop-up. We're used to pop-ups with the beds pull out, and they have canvas ends, and we got to crank and up and down and all. These aren't quite like that.
Okay.
Same concept, but they go up and down a lot easier. and have a few more features that people might like in the sense there's hard shell instead of the soft canvas.
Okay.
We're looking at one of the Ranger 10s right now. The Ranger 10, we're going to note here, has a dry weight of 1443 and a tongue weight 174. A-liner does make a few versions that are even a little lighter weight with a few less options, and they even make a few that are a little bit bigger with even more options, and we'll even see one of those today. The thing to remember about the A-liner, they're easy to own,
Yeah.
they're easy to store, and they're easy to set up and down.
Okay.
So we're going to touch on that just a little bit. Have you ever set one up and down before?
I've watched it a lot.
Okay. Well, this is something we're going to do today, and I'm going to have you do it.
Okay.
We'll show everybody how easy it really is.
Yeah.
One of the things I do want to point out here on the outside real quick is these have what's called their lift assist. So someone that's maybe a little bit shorter or not quite as tall is going to actually allow this to lift up a little bit, and we'll actually see that when we go to pop it back up. Once it's up, it will come across and work as a high wind strap or help hold the top down in case it got into windy situations and didn't separate that top a little bit. So it serves a couple of purposes.
For a storm or something.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's step inside.
All right.
All right, the first thing I always like to do is unlatch the first latch here, because it's always the hardest to get to once the backside wall is down, and the backside wall is what we want to drop first. And then the second one, and then your third, and as you unlatch that one, bring that wall down towards you. There's a little rubber stopper there on the corner.
Yep.
You'll see that'll come down and rest right there.
Uh-huh.
And then as you turn, you'll see you'll have your fourth one you'll unlatch here. And then what you'll want to do is come into the doorway,
Okay.
turn yourself towards the door, unlatch it, and grab your left hand onto that door here.
Okay.
And now just bring the whole wall right over top of you.
All right.
Step out and shut the door.
Yeah. Not too hard so far.
Right, and then all you're going to do is grab a hold of that and give it a little tug, pull it down towards you a little bit, and you'll see that give here on the corner. Exactly. And as it comes down, you've got a little bit of assistance. It comes all the way down, and it'll snap right there.
Then you just latch it in, huh?
You do, and this part will just come down,
Oh, there we go.
and it reaches right there.
Perfect.
And you'd latch the other side, and that is it.
Yeah.
So for a first time, it really was fairly easy to
Easy
do.
peasy, yeah.
Absolutely. And same thing when it goes to set it up. You pull in, we're going to
Yep.
unlatch that, and you'll notice it has a little spring to it. Here, you could use the lift assist
Oh, yeah.
and and
Like
kind of
if
help
I'm-
push that up a
right.
little bit. Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
once you get it up, then you're going to be able to hear it snap right into place,
Yeah.
and you're going to do exactly what we did, just opposite.
In reverse.
So we're going to open the door.
All right.
You're going to stand sideways in the door with one hand on the door as you open it up. Exactly.
And latch this one first.
Yep.
Over here. There we go.
And you're camping.
Yeah.
You know.
So easy.
So to store it in your garage at home is
Right.
nice. If you did need to get into it, maybe you pulled across the state lines and you rolled into the Welcome Center, and it was
Yeah.
real busy up at the Welcome Center, and your A-liner is one of them that had the cassette toilets.
Right.
You could pop it up in 30 seconds and be able to use the bathroom yourself.
We've done that.
Let's step down one here.
Yeah.
We're
Now,
going to go ahead.
This
Yeah.
this small one, I could probably pull this with my SUV, right?
Right, we're looking at a 1443 as our dry weight.
Okay.
So we would want at least 2,000 pounds.
Okay.
So yes,
Yeah.
most SUVs, some minivans, depending.
Okay, perfect.
And then this is what they call their Expedition. This is one of their bigger 15-foot floor plans. You have options when you get into Expeditions for showers and the cassette toilets,
Right.
and then what they call the dormers. And that's what we see here. The dormers come in two ways. You can actually have cloth dormers. With the cloth dormers, they will unzip and lay down and let that breeze all blow through.
It's more like a tent.
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
A little bit more airflow. And then
Right.
the hard shell dormers, they do have the sliding windows that open, but obviously for a little bit of insulation, and
Yeah.
if I did pack the canvas dormers away wet, I do need to get them open at some point in
Yep.
time and dried out. Where
Right.
here, not as important.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
We're still talking about being under 2,000 pounds.
Okay.
So again, very towable for a lot of SUVs and smaller trucks,
Okay.
and folds down just like we saw on the other to, again, store in the garage and things like that.
Yeah.
We've got pass-through storage.
Okay.
We talked about our high wind strap and lift assist, which actually becomes a little more usable on this one because it is taller and does make it easier to get that top up.
Yeah.
Air conditioning, furnace, cassette toilet, outside shower, all the things you would need to camp at a state park or a national park, even being off-grid if you didn't have a campsite with water and electric.
Yeah, and this one's a little bigger on the inside too.
It is.
huh?
This is a 15-foot box.
Okay.
They make 10, 12, and 15-foot boxes.
So here you've got like a twin size bed or a table and
In a dinette, that's
yeah.
right.
And then over here it's a queen size bed.
That's exactly right. That will fold back into a sofa.
And then you've got storage underneath there too.
You have storage underneath there. When you go to the Expedition, the sidewalls are a little bit taller, so you do get a little bit bigger refrigerator. Again, we get a microwave here in this version.
It seems a lot more spacious in here.
A little bit more headroom with the
Right.
dormers, absolutely.
Yeah.
And those are options.
Okay.
Some people like the idea. It will bring a little bit of weight to the unit, but not a whole lot overall.
Yeah, very nice. Well, thank you, Scott.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure looking at these with you.
Yeah, guys, if you have questions, you need help with anything, I'm Scott Moore here at Mount Comfort RV. Just remember, the A-liners, they're easy to own, they're easy to store, and they're easy to set up and down. The easier camping is, the more fun we have,
Right.
and the more often we go.
Very good.
If you need anything, just let us know.
All right, thanks, Scott. And now we have some questionable tips from Travelin America.
Spoiler alert, Minnesota's pretty freaking boring. I mean, unless you just love lakes. We're gonna do some road tripping tips, or tips from road tripping. I don't know what I want to call it yet. Basically, what you'd call me and Rocky are professional road trippers. So we're really good at driving around. So we're gonna share some of our tips since we're about to pull into North Dakota, and that's like a 6-hour nightmare of nothingness. I hate to break it to anybody that was like planning a big destination trip to North Dakota. Kind of sucks. Rule number 1 is don't be stupid, okay? I mean, if you're just gonna come out and be stupid, then just stay home. Examples of being stupid on the road. If you're driving through New Mexico and you wait till you have a quarter of a tank of gas to look for a gas station, just ask yourself, is that stupid? The answer is yes, so don't do that. It's real simple. Treat a half a tank of gas like it's a quarter tank of gas. Better yet, just treat 3/4 of a tank of gas like a quarter tank of gas, and you'll be just fine. Just stop at every 5 gas stations. I've cut it close a couple of times, but that's because I was stupid, okay? I have no problem admitting I used to be stupid. I learned the hard way. And you don't want to be one of those guys that's like carrying around a gas tank full of gas in their car. Just in case I'm stupid and forget to get gas, I have this tank of gas in the back. You pull over at night to rest, and you and your dog wake up in the middle of the night higher than draft balls on gas fumes because you didn't shut the lid because, you were worried that you were going to be stupid. So just don't be stupid in the first place. See, another hot tip. Always talk to strangers. Everyone's such a little weenie nowadays about that one. I mean, you just bank on Google, you just look around. It's like, no. You're ignorant if you think that you're just that intelligent to where you know the hot spot of everywhere you're going. You don't, okay? So just swallow your pride and go talk to some strangers. Talk to the really weird looking stranger. First thing you want to do when you meet that stranger is you're going to want to exchange phone numbers with them and add them on Facebook. Once you've added on Facebook and exchanged phone numbers, you're going to ask him, hey, what's the best restaurant in town? He's probably going to tell you. And if he has anything he forgot to tell you, that way he can get a hold of you, you know, once you guys split ways. But definitely exchange information with strangers. If you're worried about strangers and them getting you, then, you know, carry some self-defense. That honestly brings me to my next rule is, you know, just don't even bother looking at state carry laws. You know, most of them don't transfer over anyway. And if the cop finds out that you are aware that you're breaking the law and you're breaking the law, then you're definitely screwed. So just act like you're dumb. Don't look at them in the first place so you don't even know any better. And then when you get caught, you're like, dude, I have no idea that was a thing. That's exactly what I did at work. So just completely ignore carry laws in the United States and just do your thing. But if you don't like guns, which a lot of people don't, you know, girls carry pepper spray and stuff, a tiny little inhaler tank of pepper spray, you know what, I probably would be afraid of strangers too. So here's a hot tip from Travelin America. You're going to be cruising the country. You don't like firearms. You're scared of strangers. Here's what you need to do. You need to get somewhere either on Amazon or somewhere in the Rocky Mountains, maybe even the Smoky Mountains. You're going to want to go ahead and just get yourself a can of bear spray. I don't care who you are. If you see some chick with this on her hip, or a guy, you know, maybe you're a guy and you're scared of strangers, I don't know. If this is on your hip, nobody's coming to mess with you, okay? If you got your pepper spray on your keychain, I mean, imagine if you have more than one attacker. Then what are you gonna do? I doubt that little inhaler tank of pepper spray is gonna take down multiple grown men or women. But now this thing, you just give them the old fire extinguisher. I mean, whoop-ah. Just hose them down. I mean, just hose them down. And that works every time. I have yet to see a video of anybody just get bear spray and continue doing whatever they were doing before that. So, hot tip, wherever. You don't have to be in the mountains. You don't have to be anywhere even around bears. Just carry bear spray. You're in the mall. Who is coming up to you investing with you in the mall if you have a fire extinguisher attached to your head? Another tips from the road trips is always have defense on your vehicle. You know, nothing's worse than being in a position on the interstate where you're having it out with this guy or gal, you know, for miles, for hours. You know, you're going to the same place, so you're bickering back and forth. There's nothing worse than that person winning the fight, you know, and getting ahead of you. So if there's any way you can have some sort of defense on your car, get that installed immediately. I mean, take out your whole rear wiper if you have to and just hook the hose up. That's what I did. And now, whenever people piss me off and I get road rage, all I'm thinking about is, golly, I just got to get ahead of this guy. And once I'm ahead of this guy, I'm turning this button loose. I don't think you can see it. I'm going to just squirt it all over my Comanche. Yep. Another hot tip is if you're pulling a trailer like I am right now, this would be probably the fourth trailer I've pulled out to Montana. All different shapes and sizes. Like this one, I've never pulled one of these before. It's not too heavy, but if you have any questions about what you're pulling, just stop asking yourself that and just hit the road, okay? Nobody likes a paranoid road tripper. Stopping at every rest stop, checking all your straps. Just tighten your straps the first time and then just don't look at them until you get to your destination. They were tight when you left, they're gonna be tight when you get there. So it's just one of those things where you're gonna ruin yours and everybody else's time if you're constantly talking and worrying and stopping about checking your load and, oh, is my truck capable of pulling this, or is it too heavy, or maybe I should get trailer brakes. Those are all kind of useless questions, and you'll figure that out once you just hit 80 on the interstate. That answers everything really in about 30 seconds. You'll have all your answers. So another hot tip is when you're packing your, you know, survival bag, or you're going hiking or backpacking or what have you, it's always important to carry at least one or two squeaky balls. You know, just the if you have a couple of those, I mean, it could just very well save your life from potential danger. And it covers all aspects, you know, wolves, bears, you know, moose, you know, mountain lions. all they are bigger versions of our pets. So it's just in their DNA to not be able to resist that ball. So if you're in the woods and you come across a bear, you know, pull that thing out and give it a couple whacks and throw it that way, and you go that way. You know, if you're in thick lion country, I'd probably go with like a ball of yarn over that ball, but most toys with squeakers in them will work. It's just best to have that with you, because if you don't have one of those, you're going to bank on using your bear spray.
Thanks for watching, campers. Make sure to tune in for our season finale next week on WHMB 40 at 8:30 p.m. See you later.